everyone, and welcome to Words from a Black Woman's Experience. I am going to ask my guests tonight if they'll mute themselves until it's their turn to talk. All right. Now, as you all know, I am Cherlnell Lane. I am bearing my soul to heal yours. As a poetic storyteller, I am the founder of Cherlnell Lane LLC, where we help you use your words. And today is a very, very, very special episode with me and Dem Battles Girls, and we will be discussing fibromyalgia and lupus, the family connection. As you all know, Words from a Black Woman's Experience was created to highlight Black women's stories. I've created a space where Black women can be themselves boldly and unapologetically. We talk about connections, lessons they've learned, and their message to the audience. I feel that words are one of the most powerful tools on earth, whether written, spoken, signed, sung, read, or performed. And these are words from a Black woman's experience. This week, we are speaking with Dem Battles Girls, otherwise known as Ernestine Battles, Carlisa Thomas, Natalie Battles, and myself. These talented women are founders of several businesses and organizations. They will share their experiences in our episode, Fibromyalgia and Lupus, the Family Connection, where we will show you that purple is not just a color, it's a family trait. Ernestine Battles is the embodiment of love and selflessness. She is a loving single mother of 4 children and a grandmother of 6. Ernestine has given 23 years of exceptional service to the Chicago Public School students, feeding their bellies and their souls. In 2020, Ernestine created and launched her brand, A Love is Rooted in Happiness. And she also launched her web show, A Mother's Love. I just want to help somebody. Ernestine Battles. Hello, Ernestine Battles, and welcome to the show.
Hello, Cherlnell. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here today. Again, I was looking forward to our next times as Dem Battle Girls. Okay. So
Yes.
thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. And I hope that we can help somebody today.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's what we're all about. Now, now we move to Carlisa Thomas, mother, chef, entrepreneur, lupus, excuse me, mother, chef, entrepreneur, lupus and domestic violence survivor and advocate, author, speaker, philanthropist. After being diagnosed with lupus in the 8th grade, Carlisa became a champion for the cause and began educating herself and others about the disease. She saved her summer job paychecks to open a candy store, and she used a portion of her earnings to help people with lupus. Carlisa started her own organization, Lupus, in 2011. Carlisa joined all of her skills and passions to start her own catering company, Purple Ribbon Chef, in 2012. She is the definition of a warrior. She has gone through a cocoon of pain to come out a beautiful butterfly. Hello, Miss Carlisa.
Hola, hola, hello, hello.
Hola,
How are
hola.
you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being a guest again.
It is my pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. No, I had to have you guys back. I mean, we have so much fun. So,
Absolutely.
next we have the baby of the bunch, Miss Natalie Battles. Natalie Battles uses her gifts and creativity to educate, inspire, and create change. Natalie is a mother, actor, director, producer, filmmaker, poet, dancer, model, rapper, event coordinator, historian, motivational speaker, instructor, event, and radio host. She's all of us put together in one. Okay. Um,
And then
she
some.
decided to do all the things, not one of the things. Yes, and then some. Natalie is the founder and owner of Melanated in America, a full service production and event company. She is also the president and co founder of the Healing Academy, an education based nonprofit organization. Natalie uses her skills to help heal and educate the melanated community by creating content. She says, content that tells our stories, shapes artists, amplifies our voices, and depicts us in a positive light. Now, let's welcome Miss Natalie Battles.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited. I laugh every time someone reads that bio. I'll be like, "Damn, that do a lot."
Like that me?
But I am doing very, very well. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to co-host.
We are happy to have you. I would like to mention in this beautiful panel that we have today, Natalie Battles will be my co-host because there are some parts of it that I would like to be on the panel for, and she will be asking some questions as well. Even though y'all already know that if she's on the show, she's going to be the co host anyway. So, if you've seen any of the past episodes, um, so, well, we can't do it yet because mom's gone. But exclusively, it says you women are absolutely exclusive. Thank you, exclusively. We're glad to be included in the exclusive club. But like I was saying, so Miss Natalie Battles is going to co-host part of the show with us. Now we can get started with our opening one. Oh wait, she's back. So first we have to do Dem Battles Girls. Everybody got their glasses? Raise your glasses. Clink, clink, clink. Now take a drink. All right, now we ready to start. So my warm up question to you all is about Awareness Month, right? And we know that every month has like 56,561 awarenesses and all of that, right? Well, I bet you didn't hear of this one. And don't worry, it's not super crazy. It's going to be awesome. So, May is Personal History Awareness Month.
Okay.
So, this month of May is set aside by personal historians as the month to generate awareness about the importance of personal history. During the month, we encourage people to do something to preserve their personal and or family history.
Wow.
It says, I consider life's story capture to be something of a personal mission. Everyone has a story. And I think it is so important for us to record, preserve, and validate our stories. How will people remember you, your parents, your grandparents, and other ancestors? So, yes. So I love that. I love the idea of that. So, what I want to know from you all is, I know that Carlisa and I are both authors. So we have that way of preserving personal history. I know that Miss Ernestine Battles has her show, which definitely gives gems, and you have video archives of you giving gems about your personal stories and motherhood and things like that. And we have Natalie Battles, who also has that with 5011 shows, and her Melanated America company, which she uses to create films that does exactly that, right? So we all are in that realm somehow. But I want to know, other than the things I just named, how would you preserve your personal history? So each one of you do something different than what I just named for you. We'll start with B. I mean, Natalie, I'm sorry.
For me, I'm actually on a journey to preserve history, our family history. As we already stated, we're all family. And I've been calling around to family members, working with other cousins on Ancestry.com and gathering family history, and then also preserving it and going back through my own personal history. I actually just got done with the Rites of Passage program. Where I had to go back through my life and write it all down, piece by piece, from each passage of life that I've lived through thus far, and then speak and manifest what I want for the passages I haven't made it to yet. So that was a huge thing, of writing down the things that I've done, the people in my life who's impacted me in all the ways, and then also working on this family tree, diving back as far as I can, ancestry. And my mother, Ernestine, actually did her ancestry and found out, what, in her 50 some odd years of life, after talking to our great uncle that has been there our whole life, that her grandfather, our great grandfather, was 100% African. And we're just now figuring that out. And so I would love to dive into getting that history and figuring out what's going on with that, because he came here, he chose to come here, and the numbers are saying we're majority Nigerian. So I'm looking forward to diving into that and really putting together this family tree. I've already started kind of laying it out, but then not only laying it out in writing, but documenting it in a documentary as well.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you, Mother.
Well, we don't have Cherlnell on here. I don't think she's doing something.
Probably a little technical difficulties. Would you like to go next, Mom?
I was gonna have Carlisa to go next.
The flame.
See what things that she's doing to preserve her, other than things that Cherlnell had already said.
Okay, so I feel like what I'm doing to preserve my personal history is, other than what Cherlnell named, is, on top of being the author, also being a speaker and sewing my life experiences into other people's lives, whether that be through from entrepreneurship, lupus, domestic violence. Also making sure I invest the best of myself into my children, because making sure my children are the best that they can be, make sure that my legacy continues on far long after I'm gone, and making sure that our children have everything that they need, then they can make sure that their children after them and their children after them have everything that they need. A huge part of what I feel like I've always embodied is changing the narrative, and breaking generational curses when it comes to financial freedom within my bloodline. I don't want to just be getting by. I don't want to just be okay, or people to look and say, oh, that's the embodiment of wealth. I want to actually be able to do something here in 2021 and beyond until I leave this earth that can set my children's children up, and leave the knowledge from what I did behind, so that that can continue onward and upward, where we Dem Battles Girls, that we bring something to that battle's name, and it is up there with the Rockefellers and the Gates and all of these names that are here. And not necessarily everyone knowing the name, but having the wealth behind those names and continuing that on from generations to generation. So that's how I am going about preserving my personal history.
All right. Good job.
That is awesome. I heard both of you ladies' answers. I think those are great answers. Since we're going in the age stages, I guess I'll go. So to preserve my personal history, other than like writing, um, it's kind of like what Carlisa says, like we speak and we do these type of things, but I just want to which I already have been, I have to take, awareness, like Natalie said, did I do that? Like I already have been, and I have to, realize that myself, but just leaving marks on people, you know, just touching people in a way, educating people in a way, um, connecting with people in a way that they're like, oh my God, yeah, she is this, she is that. While you're alive, right? So that'll be sown into more people and more people and more people. So that even after you're gone, I want to be like Maya Angelou. I want to be like, I'm trying to think of somebody that's not a writer. I want to be like all of the people, right? Nope, she's the writer. I was gonna say Ida B. Webbs. Nope, nope, they're all writers. Writing is awesome. But yes, I want to be able to leave my mark so that generations from now will be able to, I guess that's writing too, will be able to see a performance, will be able to say, hey, I took that class and my mom learned this from that class, and therefore I learned it as well. So that's how I want to interweave myself through history. And also, like Natalie was saying, we could tell other people's stories, and she's doing the history of the family, right? Because we found out we were Nigerian and was trying to figure out how, and then we discovered it by crazy means. But I am also working with someone in my family who is working to write, and I'm helping their memoir. So I am very excited about that. And I think that's another way that we can help preserve our family history and our personal history, is by helping other members of our families who may not be able to necessarily write a book or necessarily get up and speak their story, giving them the tools and aiding them in continuing that story on for other people. So yeah, I'm shutting up. Miss Ernestine. Give it to me.
Oh, okay. You finished very well. Okay, so my thing of legacy or something that I want to leave to remember me by is first of all telling the story, and telling the story is to continue to talk about the ones that was here, that's gone, continue to talk about the ones that are here, and tell their story, and also tell mine. I would like to know where I actually came from in Africa. Um, I'm mixed with several parts, just not Nigerian, but I am at least 93% African. I got a little Kenya, a little North Africa, a little, but the main is about 55% Nigerian. So I would love to find that out, to leave it for my not only my children but their children to understand. Excuse my dog. He decides to have fun while we stop texting. So I would like to do that. And I always wanted to write a book, but I didn't actually know how to start it or how to write it. So someone is helping me by contributing to remind me of things that I'm supposed to be putting down, so that they can put it together for me. And that's my oldest daughter, Cherlnell. So I thank her for that. And so that's how I want to leave my legacy to my children and my children's children, because my daughter is going to leave the legacy of richness. So I want to leave the legacy of knowing who we are, where we came from, and why we do some of the things that we do. Okay, that's me.
That's awesome. And also with the sharing of histories and personal histories, and then we're going to move on. But I just wanted to say um, that in addition to just sharing our histories, because when most people think of histories, they're like, okay, she was born here and she did this, and this, and then she died. She had these children and grandchildren, then she died. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so stoic. And I want to get into the stories of history. I want to get into, like, with my mom, like, I told her that she should go ahead and start getting her stories together, because one day we were here and we were talking about something, and we got on the Black Panthers, and she was like, yeah, I remember I was so mad when they killed the leader, because because I used to go and get the free lunches from the school, and they'll be out there and da, 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 da. And I'm like, you should be telling people this. It shouldn't just be us, your children. You know what I'm saying? You should be sharing this, like the story she told about when Martin Luther King died. This is stuff that you should be sharing with the world. People can learn a lot from our personal histories. Okay.
And if I
Do
could
we
just
have a
add to
favorite?
that real quick,
Oh,
um,
absolutely.
just because we're on that point, it's really important that we don't take the things that we've done for granted. And I know I talk to a lot of great people, and all of the greats, for the most part, all the ones I'm around are humble, and they say the same thing. They're just doing what needs to be done, and they don't see the things that they do as phenomenal, but they are, and the world sees it as phenomenal. And so a lot of times we don't write them down, we don't keep them, we don't take the pictures, we don't have these things organized so that we can say, here is our life, here is what happened, here are the things that we've done. So for the African American or melanated community, once our elders leave, we don't have a step-by-step record of all the things that they've done, or their artwork if they're artists, or their photography if they're photographers, because they don't see what they're doing as being great, but we do. So I think it's one thing that we have to remember, how great we truly are and what we have done does for the generations after us. So we should really start documenting our things. I'm 29, about to be 30. And I'm like, whoo, I got to go back 30 years. I got to get this together. Old pictures. I'm really trying to put the things together. I just bought a website. I'm going to just try to put it all in there nice and neat, but really organize it to say, this is what I've done. And my soon to be 30 years of life. This is what I've accomplished. This is what I've done. This is who I've impacted. And then keep going from there. So another 30, because I plan on being here for a real long time. After that, this is my life. And you can pass that to my son. And he can say, woo, this was my mama's life. This is what she did. And then all the other people that I've impacted along my way. And that's also why I did the documentary At Their Feet, with the elders sharing their stories, because those are, again, two humbled, amazing community leaders who are in their 80s, who did the work and who are still in 80 something years old right now, 2021, doing the work. And they like, I just did what needed to be done. And they were opening the first Black owned schools here in Chicago, and they traveling across the globe teaching about the movement and African culture and all of this whole lot of different things they did individually, the two amazing leads of that film documentary. And they just see it as doing the things that need to be done, but their stories need to be told, because there's so much we can learn from their stories. And then we need to honor them while they're here. And so just to add that, you may just be doing the work, but that's why your story needs to be told, because you're doing the work. Just wanted to say that.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go to some comments that we have. So we got the you women are absolutely exclusive, and then exclusive lid says, whoop whoop, you are so welcome. Then about the cup, she says, I want one. She says, being able to teach and inform others. Then she said, my sister. Then she said, clap, clap, clap to you all. Now stand up high and strong as I applaud. So,
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving right along. So, I have created some questions, and Miss Natalie has created some questions. So we are going to go through questions, and we actually have a question from an audience member, and I think we're going to ask that question in just a second, exclusively. So, the first question is going to be Natalie's question, because I need to find what I did with my thing with the questions on them. Oh no! I'm sorry. I'm back. I forgot that it's everywhere. I have it on everything. So yeah. But so while I'm doing this, anybody has their favorite quote?
I do.
Natalie.
My favorite quote is, teamwork makes the dream work, by I don't know who was the first person to say it, but but I love that quote, because that's how I live my life with everything I do. I know that even if I'm the point, even if it was my vision, even if I was the lead on it, I never do anything alone. Every step of the way of my life, I've had a strong team, a strong support system, starting with my family, and still to this day, my family. Carlisa, my low key, a little bit of my administrative assistant, you know what I'm saying? She don't even know it, but she know it. Just every step of the way, I've had an amazing team, starting with my family and then reaching out to the amazing community who believes in the projects that I put on, and they fall behind me with all their energy. And I know that I cannot do any of it without everyone else doing their part. So teamwork makes the dream work. And then I strive to be that for everybody else as well. So when someone else is doing something, I strive to be there for them and help in any way that I can for the greater good, because we're better together, we're stronger together, we're more powerful together. And teamwork truly does make the dream work, because a whole lot of minds is better than one.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. You are perfectly fine, exclusive lid. I love the question. I just wanted to let you know that we are going to get to it. I just didn't want you to think we were ignoring it. So, my question. Oh, yes, Natalie, you wanted to say something? Oh, I thought you was putting up your hand. Okay, my first question is, how did you feel when you discovered that you, I don't know, B, you have the question. What was it? I can't read what I wrote.
But did we all answer the quote question?
I said
Everybody
who has
didn't answer
quotes,
the quote.
and Honeybee was the only one raised the hand. I thought she was the only one.
Oh, I thought she was the first one to talk.
Okay,
You
what
can go ahead if you have your quote.
Okay, so mine, what I always like, is that there's a purpose, to, how does it go? There's a purpose for everything under the sun, but that's really kind of like a scripture, Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything, there's a purpose and a reason under the sun. Because I feel like I reflect back to that a lot. And no matter what it is that we're going through, sometimes when we're going through things, it may seem like it's like this is the most terrible thing. But then once you get through that thing and go through something else, it's like I needed what I learned from that to prepare me for where I am in my life at this moment. And I wouldn't be able to do the things that I've done without all the good and bad in my life. So that's kind of my thing. It's a purpose for everything under the sun.
That's that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yes. And you know, mine is, with God, I can do anything. With God, I can do anything, which is the scripture I'm paraphrasing, but the scripture comes from Luke 1:37. Because we can do anything. Anything is impossible. Is possible with God. So that's my scripture. We can do anything. Anything that we set our minds to. If God is on our side. So I always put him first, and I follow the directions that he go, and I always can make it through it. Everything is possible with God.
Awesome. We have another quote that exclusive lid said, "Don't let anyone live in your mind rent free." My
All right.
exclusive lid grandma.
Yes.
That is an awesome, awesome quote.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I need to write that one down. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing exclusively. That's awesome. I'm not gonna say my quote. I feel outshadowed by you guys with your.
Really.
Okay. My quote is from Kermit the Frog. I think it's from Kermit. It might be from
Kermit, you say?
Oscar the Grouch, but it says it's
Oh,
not easy being green. You know what I'm saying?
And can you elaborate on that for us? Mm-hmm.
Yes, of course.
Thank you so much.
So he says it's not easy being green, right? But what he's saying is it's not easy being him. But for those of us who know the Muffets, right? For those of us who know the Muffets, we know Kermit was running the show. Everybody, I mean, did I say that right? Yes, Kermit was running the show. He was the boss. Everybody looked up at him. He had the baddest lady on his arm. You know what I'm saying?
Miss Piggy.
Miss Piggy was bad. Don't come in Miss Piggy.
She was
Anyway,
mean.
she
Okay.
was. She acted like Carlisa. But that's okay.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So that's okay. But it's not easy being him, but other people felt like it wasn't easy being them because they wasn't him. You get what I'm saying?
Come
So it's
on.
like everybody is basing themselves on what they think
That's a
another person
word.
is going through. See, y'all thought I was just see. I have to
That's
be
a word.
simple.
I don't judge. I just wanted to hear a little more. That's why I asked for clarity. You gotta ask for clarity. Don't make assumptions now. I was with you. I just wanted to be all the way there with you. Okay.
Oh yeah. So that's
No, but
why
that's
it
deep
ain't easy
though,
being
because
green.
everybody, that's like the grass. You think the grass is greener on the other side until you get to the other side, then you realize, yeah, man, yeah.
That's the go back to that green. Green like the
Mhm.
grass. Come on.
Come on, come on, come on.
But look, it's really like also stop comparing yourselves to others.
Come
Point
on.
blank
Mhm.
and the period. Even with
And the
us and what we're
period
talking
and the
about today,
exclamation mark.
right? Even with the lupus and fibromyalgia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mama might have it and it affects her one way. Then Carlisa has
Mm-hmm.
it and it affects her a different way. And then I have
Mm-hmm.
it and it affects me a different way. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But you can't be like looking at people like, oh man, they doing all that. And I ain't doing all that. Or I can't do all that. And then we start to devalue ourselves.
Mm-hmm. But you could do something else that person probably can't do.
Come
That's
on.
the thing.
Exactly. Or
We all got
you
different
don't
gifts
have
and
to
we're sent
compare
here
yourself,
to do
period.
different things. So stay in your lane and let everybody else stay in theirs.
Yeah, but it's hard doing that. I'm gonna tell you, and I'm sure that you all have dealt with this. It is hard, and I guess we just get into the topic from this. But it is hard, being able to once do one thing
Mm-hmm.
at a certain level,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and then not being
Mm-hmm.
able to do it anymore.
Do it anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, come on.
So in that, and I'm speaking personally, I'm gonna just say me, not you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so me personally, um, when I see people doing stuff and regular people, not regular people, but you know what I'm saying, people who are not dealing with chronic illness, but maybe dealing with other things. I should say people who are able to do what I think is more than what I can do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, or this is what I'm working on, but sometimes I am trying to push myself to match up. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel less than because I can't do what I perceive that they are doing. Right? Somebody told me recently that that I worked a lot. They were like, "You always working. Do you ever take a day off?" I was like, "No." And they was like, "Yeah, because you really hard worker." And I was like, "Really?" Because I'm used to this different. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that I used to be able to do. Um so because of that, I would like to ask.
Go ahead.
I know that there is a feeling that comes over you when you are first diagnosed or when you first start to feel symptoms and find that it's something going on with you. So what is the first how did you feel the first awareness of it versus how you feel about it now? So we're going to start with Carlisa because she was just about to talk.
Oh, okay. I feel like when I was first diagnosed, it was with lupus. Um, so we're clear. I felt more relieved because I was tired of not being diagnosed. And I had already been dealing with it for so long that it was like, okay, now we can try to work on whatever it was because my doctor couldn't do certain things with me until I was officially diagnosed. And I was tired of being sick. But not that people tired of being sick like they want to die. I was tired of being sick so I can live, and wanted to see what other options there were for me. But in the limbo state that sometimes comes along with lupus and being diagnosed for lupus, it is Lupus Awareness Month. Um, so a lot of people who have gone through this process of being diagnosed with lupus, and some people still have never been diagnosed and trying to be diagnosed for years, they may know that it's a long, lengthy process, because it's not a test like you can test and see this person has sickle cell, or this person iron is low, or this person has pneumonia, and all of those different ailments. It's not a cut and dry thing. It's I need you to have all of these things happening, but at the same time, and then I can say that you have this thing. So then I can offer certain treatment options at that point. So I was a sophomore in high school. Um, just had started being really sick. At that point, I wanted to be like a normal teenager. You're in high school, wanted my life to kind of go back to normal. Was tired of fatigue and hurting and having to get up early in the morning, with the morning stiffness and not feeling like you want to do anything. And so I was diagnosed. So it was a form of relief, because then at that time I was thinking, which I don't think anymore, like, medicines are amazing and this medicine is going to be the cure all be all. But I was able to start a different medication, which did help for the moment. And that's what I felt. I feel like it was, and not to tell anybody else's story, but my story from my mother being diagnosed. When I felt dread and stuff first hearing lupus, it was more so when mom was diagnosed with lupus, because we were younger. And I thought that was her telling me like she was going to die and leave us. That's the feeling I felt then. But because I still saw how strong my mother was and everything that she was able to do by the time I was diagnosed, I was like, hey, I can get through this. And even when I have my bad days, even in my adulthood, I'm like, my mama finna be 60. She got through this. I'm gonna be able to get through this. And it kind of goes back to what you were saying, from people looking at other people's lives on the negative perspective, but I feel like I have flipped that thing to make it a positive for me, for the days when I felt like I can't go on any longer, or get really down about my whole body being in pain and stuff. I'm like, Dad, I'm sure my mother, even though lupus affects everybody differently, I'm sure she has had days like this, and she continued to push on and push forward so that she can take care of all of us. So I feel like that's what helped me get through my diagnosis. And I had already had those dreadful feelings when my mother was diagnosed, and it being so many years later when I was diagnosed, I was able to deal with that better.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Um, I guess I'll speak a little bit about mine. I started having, I guess my story stems from um my mother's story as well. Um, but if I can remember correctly, my mom and I started having similar symptoms at the same time. And mom, you just shake your head, yes or no, to make sure I'm on the right track. And we were going to the doctor at the board of health. Is that right? And I think that's where we was at. And they tested her for lupus, but they wouldn't test me because they said children didn't get lupus or whatever. Um, So, I mean, we had like these same symptoms, and mom was so mad that they wouldn't test me. But I guess like Carlisa says, it's the unknowing, it's the not being able to get treated properly. So, so from there on, because I don't have a diagnosis, then you don't get the treatment, then you just suffer, right? And like everybody know, I done broke 50,000 things. I sprain my ankle every 2 weeks. I done sprained thumbs and everything. But I think if I had that diagnosis, it would have been looked at differently. It would have been treated differently. Also, as you all know, even now today, I do not have a lupus diagnosis. Because of, as Carlisa was stating, you have to have all of these ducks in a row to end up getting a diagnosis. And I had all of the ducks. I just haven't had them all in a row when they test me. You know what I'm saying? So it's really frustrating. And there are like hundreds of thousands of people who are living this, who are not being diagnosed. People are taking decades to get diagnosed with lupus. Because one, at first, it wasn't fully, diagnosed. So at first I felt, I guess I felt like, I don't know. I really sometimes feel like what is happening to me is not valid. It's not valid, right? Because like you go to the doctor and that's what you feel. They're like, "Oh, this is not this, and that is not that." So you feel unvalidated in your feelings, like my body is doing this. And because you don't have diagnosis, it's like, no, that's impossible. You can't be doing that. But now I feel that I'm at the point where I'm starting to listen to Mary Nail. I used to be at the point where doctors would talk to me and I'd be like, oh, okay. And my mom always say, you can't do that. You don't, because she be channeling her Mary Neal. But my grandmother told me, and she told all of us this, you don't let nobody blank you over. Okay? So I've been taking that to heart because I'm starting to see that these doctors, some of them are not just getting it, and and they need to get it. I've been diagnosed with so much stuff related to lupus and not lupus. So it's really ridiculous. But so that's how I feel now. I feel like I can speak up for myself and my feelings are valid because I feel them and I've experienced them. So, Mom, your turn.
Hi. I can feel all of you guys. I tell you the truth. First, I was speaking to somebody, I think it was earlier today, and I was saying, in order for you to be diagnosed with lupus, this is what they told us. You have to have so many ducks in a row, at least 4 of these ducks in a row, okay? Different things that's going on with you at a period of time or around that same period of time. This is what was told to me, and this was also what was told to me when Carlisa had the right before she got the diagnosis of the lupus. Okay, so when I got the diagnosis of lupus, I had been going through these things for years, lots of years. I had my children. I had aches and pains. I had where my feet felt like 15 million needles was in them. I had felt like I got up and I would stand up and fall down because I couldn't walk. I had the aches, the pains, all of that. But being a mother, I really continued to do. I couldn't, it was time when I could not use my hands or lift almost a pot or a frying pan when I was trying to cook my children something to eat. I would try to lift it and almost drop it and have to grab with the other hand that ain't too sturdy either to get my stuff to the thing. But doctors will tell you that you're not going through what you know you're going through. Even today, when I have certain pain and stuff, I have to still go through the same thing almost, that they don't see nothing. They don't understand this. I went to one doctor one time and I said, I know. And they keep telling me they don't see anything. And he said, don't let nobody tell you what they don't see or what you don't feel. We're not in your body and we don't know the pain that you feel. I felt so much better because he said, we ain't in your body. We don't know what you feel. Don't let nobody discourage you for what you feel. You know what you feel. So when I was actually diagnosed, it was I had my last child, and I remember going through some stuff after I had came home from having my last child, and all of a sudden I just got real cold, and I got these chills, and I was just like sick all of a sudden, and I didn't know what was going on with me. And do you know I seen Carlisa go through the same thing right before she left the hospital? They wouldn't let her leave the hospital because she was going through a crisis from lupus, going through the same thing that I went through when I had Natalie. And I sit there and I said, so now they know this is a crisis from lupus, but when I was trying to find out stuff, I could not find out. And even when they diagnosed me with the lupus, it was really nothing that they was telling me about. I'm like, what is it? Oh, it's an autoimmune like disease, and your ANA levels is this, and you have to watch that. But he really wasn't telling me nothing. So I went to the library and got some books on lupus and started reading about it. And I got more information out of the books from lupus that I got from the doctor who diagnosed me with the lupus. So, and another thing, and I don't care how it sounds, us as being Black people and Black women especially, a lot of diagnoses don't come to us quickly. It don't come to us quickly. We have to go through so much different things before we're diagnosed with the right thing that we have. They medicate us with trying to treat the symptoms that we're going through instead of trying to find out the things that we are really going through. Okay, so I this is years later, because I was having this before I had my children. At the age of 14, like Carlisa, I took my blood work. 13, I think I was 13. I took my blood work to go to high school. So they called me and my mother into the clinic because something was different in my blood. They said, her blood is kind of sickle shaped, but it's not sickle cell. Okay. And they didn't know what it was. They didn't know what it was. So they said she'll probably grow out of it. She'll probably grow out of it. That was at 13 years old. So when I ached and had pains and stuff like that, they couldn't find nothing. Even when I read the books after I was diagnosed, it said that so many people died from lupus that they contribute to other things like heart disease and blood disorders and different things, because lupus attack your organs. They attack the good cells in your body when it's being activated. To they just contributed to that, is what these people died from. They said, even in the book, they said it's been so many people that probably died from lupus because they didn't really know about lupus that much at that time. But nowadays, I done seen stars and singers and actresses and stuff that get sick. All of a sudden they get sick. They rush them to the hospital, and like that, they diagnose them with lupus. And they give them the medication that they need to control their lupus. But us is, we don't get that. We don't get that luxury. That's why I'm telling everybody right now, today, if you feel something, if something is not right, you feel that's not right with you, you keep going to get it checked out. You keep going, because maybe one day you're going to come around to that real doctor that know what they're talking about, and that's going to help you. And sometimes you got to stand up for yourself and tell them, no, I know what I'm feeling, and it ain't what you talking about. In order for us to survive in this world today, you got to stand up, even when you feel like you won't fall down. So, being diagnosed with the lupus, I believe that happened to me at the age of 13. They didn't know what it was. After having children and going through different things and not being able to walk, not being able to stand up, sometimes aching, can't pick up something, hardly could turn my wheel to pick up my kids from school. But by the grace of God, I made it through to do and take care of my children to this day here. Like my daughter said, I am months away from being 60 years old, and he has still protected and covered me through it all. And back to Cherlnell on what she said earlier, and like I said, the doctor said, we don't know people pain. We may look good on the outside. That's one thing they say about lupus. Lupus is a hidden disease. You can't see it. You can't see what I'm going through on the outside. I'm all queued up on the outside. But when I'm in pain, you can't see it. So we can't judge people because we don't know the pain that they're going through. And I was one of them, and basically it was with my children. I be honest about that. I tell them what they can and cannot do, but I can't feel what they're going through. I can't feel what they're going through. So I even myself can't judge them. I know I don't want them to have to go through some of the things that they go through, but I can't stop it. So we have to be honest to ourselves. We got to be honest to them. And we got to help each other regardless if we can see their sickness or not. We got to be able to help each other through the things that they're going through. And so, with that said, it is so many different things that we may go through, and so many different sicknesses that we may go through, all under the name of lupus, that has not been diagnosed through people that's going through it and that has been going through it for years. But we have to continue to fight the fight. We can't just give up. We got to continue to fight. We got to continue to let this thing be known, because it was a one time, a point of time that it wasn't even known. People did not know about lupus. We had heart disease, we had cancer, we had all these other diseases and blood things, but lupus was not known about, and we had people dying from it and they didn't know. So we have to let people know that they may be aware of the things and the symptoms and that they may go through, carrying these diseases that people think that is a figment of our imagination sometimes.
Yes, yes, definitely. Thank you for those wisdom words right there. That
You're
was straight
quite
wisdom.
welcome.
I appreciate you so much. I want to go back to exclusive Liz question, but I think we have already answered it. So I just want her to know that we have already answered about hardships that come, and how we live and survive with lupus. So I don't want her to feel like we forgot about her question. Now I know we're running low on time, but I want to ask a question.
We ain't running low.
Okay, so I want to ask a question of Natalie. So, Miss Natalie, we know that you
How
do
you get
not necessarily suffer with autoimmune things, right? And I just want to know how you feel on the outside looking in, because what I do want
That's
to
good.
state. Thank you.
That's
I'll be
good.
hosting shows. Uh,
Oh, I thought I was muted. I've been over here talking and preaching. Let me mute
yes, we
myself
know we
back so
had a
y'all
whole
can't hear me.
comment saying we see
I
you,
be
Carlisa.
let me mute myself. But that's good. Preach, preacher.
So, yeah. So basically, you can unmute yourself, Carlisa, because basically, what I wanted to say
I be
was,
talking too much. I be talking too much.
She like, no, I'm gonna
okay,
stay on mute.
okay. So basically, what I wanted to say before you answered that question is, we were talking about this episode. Um, we was talking about this episode because we wanted to talk about how we all in the family are connected to this invisible disease or group of diseases or whatever you want to call it. So I just wanted to run through the line right quick. So my aunt has it. My mother has it. I have it. Carlisa has it. And Carlisa can correct me if I'm wrong, but Journey also shows symptoms of it.
High ANA levels, right?
Journey has positive ANA.
Okay.
So, with lupus, there's no test,
Right.
but the ANA levels is one of the huge ducks in a row, as y'all called it, that they
Mm-hmm.
want to see what's happening. So Journey has had positive ANA since, I want to say, like they tested probably like 4 or 5. They tested her because of how bad her eyesight kept getting when we started taking her to get her eyes checked at 3 years old. She started wearing glasses. So, but she does have a lot of the symptoms, and she was being followed by the same rheumatologist who diagnosed me when that I had been seeing since I was in 8th grade, who just retired last year. But then she's still being followed by rheumatology, and they pay, just keeping close attention on her symptoms and different things like that. But she has not been diagnosed.
Okay, just making sure. But yeah, so that's why we talked about, this being a family connection, because it is hereditary. And if a lot of people start, I'm not saying it has to be hereditary, but it definitely can be hereditary. So if you have, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And actually, one of the huge parts about our family, because it was publication after publication, they put a lot of money into research. That's why I created Lupus, because I wanted that for the people, and to help people with lupus. But when I was diagnosed, and then mom told them about you being sick, and that was when I was a sophomore in high school, so you were out of high school by this time. They like wanted to the doctor that I was seeing was trying to get University of Chicago to do a study on us, because they kept trying to say that lupus was not hereditary. And then she was like, it's 3 people in this household that's dealing, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the same house, so that was a huge thing. And that was the only reason, after a while with me, because my symptoms started with my knee swelling up and them having to pull fluid from it, and then it kind of down spiraled from there. The only reason they looked at lupus for me off the jump, because they wouldn't have looked at that from a kid. They could have just said growing pains, you running around, you doing sports, all of this different stuff. It was only because mom was diagnosed, and I felt like we were very fortunate to come into some really good doctors at first. Like, since I've been an adult and changing hospitals and stuff like that, I come into some a-holes, we're gonna call a spade a spade. And it and I knew what to look for from that, because I've heard other people horror stories. But going to Lyra Beaters Children's Hospital and getting the doctor that I had from the jump, I feel like was my saving grace, because that she specialized in that. She had a lot of kids who had it. The only reason I was diagnosed, literally when I was being diagnosed, we were at that hospital almost every day, I think that week, because she kept wanting to run blood, needed everything to be right so that she can diagnose me, but she needed another factor, and where other doctors would be like, come back in 3 months. We don't see nothing. Come back in a year. All of this stuff. I felt like I had really good doctors. And then once I got pregnant with Journey, because she saw me all the way till I was 20 having Journey. You can't stay at a children's hospital anymore once you're an adult and having kids. She put me with a really good doctor at the University of Chicago, Dr. Uset, and she was connected with her. They was in communication, and until she started having issues, with her health, the doctor that I had, that's when I started running into doctors that were trash, that were older, stuck into their mindset. We're gonna call a spade. We're on the show, and that's what we do. A lot of Caucasian men, old men, that mom spoke on this, because not even just with lupus and fibromyalgia, African American women have a hard time, and we're the highest to die in childbirth and stuff too. They have
Period.
done studies with even medical students, and they've asked them certain questions on when they would administer medications to certain type of individuals, and it is just a known fact that they feel like us as African American women, we can take more pain. So when we say that we are in pain, they don't take us seriously. When we say that something is happening in us, they don't take us seriously. So we are the last ones to be checked on. We are the last ones to be administered medication. We are the last ones to be taken seriously. And that's why our death rates are so high, because they feel like, we talked about this yesterday on the show with Mother's Day, like the world of the shoulder should be on our back, then we should be okay with that. And, you know, and I feel like because of that, a lot of times we, you know, and I know we've kind of gotten off of what you was asking because I don't even remember what you was asking. We kind of take that on too because I feel like I've had good ER doctors and stuff like that because that's when I go in. My actual rheumatologist and stuff at the hospital I'm at now, which is UIC, we're going to call a name. I don't feel like I've gotten really good help. And then when it comes to my lupus, I will go to the ER and it has to be something drastic for me to do that. And they always are like that when I do see those doctors, like, we need you to come in because I will take some pain. I will take pain until I can't take it anymore because of treatment that I have received. And then we're going to talk about this opioid epidemic real quick. We're going to talk about it real quick. That was the only thing, because we talked about this medication that they pushed on us. They wanted to mask our symptoms with opioids and with painkillers and all of these different things instead of working on what the issue is. And I saw that at a young age, and I don't want that. I will sit in pain somewhere. You will hear me holler. If I got to holler, you will hear me have all these things go on because I want to feel. You're not going to stop me from feeling by giving me these medications because we need to see what's going on with me. And a lot of times, like we know with lupus and fibromyalgia and these different autoimmune diseases, they don't see, they still say nothing is going on and they can't find what's happening. You know what I'm saying? But then once opioids became a crisis to we're going to call a spade, the Caucasian kids in the suburbs, because they were pushing that on us. And then we needed these medications to just get by day to day because you weren't finding out what the issue was. And I'm walking around in pain and I still have to take care of children, run a business, go to work every day and all of these different things. Then we come in pain and they want to act like we crackheads. Come on. Okay. So then now,
go ahead and unmute Natalie. Let's hit a tambourine.
Come on.
So then now we crackheads to you, but you're still not dealing with what the underlying issues is. But at the end of the day, we have autoimmune diseases that you're saying you don't see the pain that we're going through. And then I really dislike, you know, that they diagnosed you with it, Cherlnell. We got the awareness of it. This fibromyalgia term, because a lot of them try to utilize that as to say, you're crazy, you're in this pain that we don't see why this pain you're in. So we're going to put a name on it so we can stop calling you crazy. And it's foolishness to me. It's absolute foolishness. It's you don't want to do your job. And then now, because Caucasian children in suburbs start overdosing on opioids, we can't give you any medicine for it. So we're going to have you sit here in pain. And then once we come around to the marijuana wanting to become legal, then we want to penalize you for saying you want to use a natural substance to then not be in pain too. So it's all crazy. It's all bull crap. And it's definitely something that has just been that African Americans and Black, brown, and minority people have to deal with when it comes to the medical industry. But go ahead. Y'all can go ahead back on with what we were talking about.
Okay,
We were talking about how I feel on
right. We were talking about Honeybee.
Okay.
How Natalie felt.
But she
we enjoyed it, Carlisa.
So I mean, that could not be said because the medical industry is here to pacify and not to heal. Okay, and they don't even give you the skills, education. Like my mama said, why she got to go to the library and read up on some stuff that you should know about in your hospital? They're not training these doctors, and these doctors don't really know what they talking about. They practicing on you. And I think somebody said in the comments earlier, "Oh, that ain't work. Let's try this." Because now you they case study. Now they like, oh, did that work on you? Oh, that ain't work on you. Let's try this. Even though that might be killing you, they just trying to see if it work on you for somebody else. They practicing doctors. They don't know. And they're not the end all be all.
Well,
and it's the Black community that they're doing it to. And one thing that Carlisa said that's super important for us not to skate over is that they're doing this majority to Black women, that people that we entrust our lives to literally say that our skin is thicker. that we can take more pain, and they don't come check on us. They don't give us the care we need. They brush us off. That's why we dying. And that's a huge problem. On top of the fact that lupus is super hard to diagnose, you not even taking my pain seriously. You not even taking whatever it may be seriously. And it's proven. So we just need to flip the table on a lot of things. Y'all know me. I'm a rebel out here in these streets. Y'all want to get me started on that. I'm just going to say amen to everything Carly said, because we ain't got enough time for me to go to rebel Natalie. I've been over here quiet. I've been doing good today, y'all. I've been over here quiet. So
I know Cherlnell been trying to keep her shows to an hour. We be the ones on our shows for 5 hours. And
Lisa like, oh, we got more time. I look down like, no, we over an hour.
For Cherlnell time frame, we was over the time. But I just want to throw in there really quickly.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Can Honeybee answer the question?
Yeah, but let me just say this real quick.
I thought she did answer the question.
Go ahead, Carly. You got it.
Real quick. To piggy back off of what Honeybee said, and it does not necessarily, I just wanted to give an example real quick. It does not necessarily have to be you have an ailment or something like that, because that's dirty anyway, because they know the pain and stuff you're going through. But literally, Honeybee, y'all came and picked me up. My ankle was hanging off the side of my foot. I still, over a year later, it's going to be 2 years that my ankle has been messed up when my ankle fractured and all this stuff happened. I sat in UIC hospital, and them people did not give me anything but Tylenol. Regular, go into CVS, Tylenol. They didn't send me home with a prescription or nothing, because they more so worried about an opioid crisis than dealing with somebody that ankle is hanging to the side.
But can we also speak on the fact that they caused the opioid crisis by giving people all these opioids to begin with? And now I don't want to give people the medicine.
Can we say that we ain't the people in the opioid crisis?
We are not those people. Listen, we have never been those people. And the stuff we did get addicted to, they pushed it in our community. Again, we ain't got a long enough show for me to turn into academic.
We ain't got that time.
We ain't got enough time. I've been good today, y'all. I've been on mute. I've been good today.
Yeah, you've been good. You've been good.
I've been good today, y'all.
Since Honeybee ain't gonna answer her question,
I'm gonna answer my question. But go ahead, read some comments, and then I answer my question.
Okay, so, so we got a lot of preaching now, frustration. Same here. Everything that preach, mama. Still got to juggle medicines from all of us by Sierra. Hex yeah, exclusive lid. This isn't working. Try this to the medicine. Exclusive lid said, "We see you, Carlisa, when you was muted." Yes, you have. Keep it going. That's when you was talking about you was gonna put your video on mute.
No, that's when you were saying we ain't got enough time. And Carlisa said, yes,
right. Oh, okay. So she said, keep it going. But then when Carlisa said she was going to put herself back on mute, she said, no. Then she said, keep it coming, Carlisa. Then she said, LOL. And then when Natalie started making faces, she was like, look at you, Natalie. Sierra says, the system is flawed because it's based on the results of non-color patients. Makes you not even want to go see the doctors at all.
And that's why I don't go up in there.
And that's our fellow lupus sister right there.
Lupus Awareness Month. L's up. Come on.
L's up.
Yeah. And she right about that, because she was talking about her ankle. You was talking about your ankle, right, Carlisa?
Right. When I went in for my ankle, I had to go to another hospital that don't have my history. In order for them, as soon as I went in, them people put a cast on my ankle. They gave me medicine as soon as I came in the door, because they ain't no way. They was like, you ain't got no medicine. Like, what you mean? Because I ain't had opioids in years. I haven't had no strong medication in years. And I'm sitting there with my ankle hanging. I literally, after 48 hours, my mama had to come over here and take me to a hospital where the Caucasians are, so that they can give me
Speak.
some medication and put a cast on my ankle in order for the swelling to go down, because my hospital that I've been at for years want to be worried
Getting
about
your
opioid
insurance
prices.
money.
That you built that insurance though, didn't you? You got paid though, didn't you? Come on.
Right. I said, when you said that, it reminded me of when I broke my ankle, right? You know, I broke my ankle clean through. And so when I
She
went
shattered her foot is what she did.
to the emergency room, and they asked me what's going on, and I waited all that time, and then I go into the back, and the doctor come and asked me what's going on. I told her I believe I broke my ankle. I knew I broke my ankle because my foot was kind of hanging. It was hanging. So she looked at it. She said, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna send you to get an X-ray." So when the X-ray came back and she seen how I had broke it all the way through and how my foot looked, that's when she came and decided to give me some medication for my foot. I thought she felt the pain because when she came in there, she was more upset than I was. I'm definitely finna give you something for pain because I know you got to be hurt. It took her to see an X-ray, not that my foot was hanging to the side and 5 times bigger than it should have been.
Come on.
For them to give me even an aspirin. They didn't even give me an aspirin. You said they gave you a Tylenol.
A Tylenol. At least they gave me a Tylenol. I wanted to throw that Tylenol in their face.
I tell it.
Okay. So, I mean, that's because of who we are and the color of our skin that that they think that we don't need. I mean, we have been the bottom of the totem pole for a long time.
But y'all better quote that Bible. What they say? What they say in the Bible? The first to be last be the first. And the
that's right. Yeah. That's
you better quote that scripture.
The first be last and the last will be first. So they can keep me last because once I get I'm gonna be first on top
because they don't know whose we are. They first of all, they don't know who we are. Because one day when we blow up, because Kylie's already talked about the financial breakthrough. Okay, they finna bust through these chains, and we're gonna go back to all these doctors and be like, I need you fired. I'm about a hospital so I can file oil. But I'm joking now. But on some real stuff, they push medicine solely for the purposes to get you out their face. Doctors a lot, and this is not all doctors, because like Carlisa stated, she ran across the building. Some people run across the building, but there's too much of an overwhelming majority. They get desensitized to people's pain because they see it every day, and so they get desensitized and they get a blank slate for everybody. But everybody's case is different. So if you can't see that and acknowledge that and treat these people the way you need to treat them, then you need to find a different profession. Just like people in customer service or over at the aid office or wherever they work at, and they act like they got an attitude when their job is to aid these people. Baby, you need a new job. It's the same thing for these doctors. We cannot get desensitized to people's humanity, to people's pain, and that's what's wrong with the world. If y'all listen, I said I wasn't gonna preach today. I'm gonna answer your question, Chanel. Let me stop. Okay.
Answer the question.
Let us back on her show, y'all.
Listen, she gonna let us back. Them Battles Girls, y'all know we be talking that real talk.
When the Battles Girls come on, Chanel, you need to make it 2 hours long, okay?
It can be 2 hours. I have no problem.
It gotta be a special every time we come on. We talk too much individually. Then you put us together, and you gotta add more time for everybody to talk too much.
Hello.
But I've been good today. Listen, I'm gonna get back on track. So to answer your question, Cherlnell, okay.
You know what?
How I feel about seeing you all go through these struggles. Blessed and praise the Lord that I have not had to go through it. And that is a thing that I think about, being the only woman in our immediate family that is not in that lane. And so I think about that often, but to see you all and go through the things that you go with, it hit me different at different times. I feel like for mom, for most of y'all, I'd be forgetting, like, oh, you know, and then something happened, and I'd be like, oh, damn, that is a thing. But growing up, I always knew that you all had lupus, including Cherlnell, even though she ain't diagnosed. And I became an advocate because of you. So pretty much through high school, through college, every persuasive essay speech I had to do, my shows, because like Cherlnell said, I didn't host 15,000 shows currently, but in the past it was 15,000 more. Like all the shows that I did, you know, everything that I do at some point or another, I'm incorporating lupus awareness in it, because I know that at a time there was people didn't know what it was. Now, like my mom said, you got all these celebrities with lupus. You got, you know, the first time I saw a bus ad for lupus, I was on a bus taking pictures. Oh my God, I think I sent it to you. I'm like, do y'all see this?
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Groundbreaking stuff. I saw a commercial. I took a picture of that. I was lit. Like, oh my God, like the word is getting out. And so I've always felt like really connected to helping people understand and get the information out about lupus because of you all. Because the doctors didn't know, because regular people walking down the street didn't know. And so again, for my mom, she's so strong, she would never let us see her hurt. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the time, even to this day, I whole be plumb forgetting she got lupus. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Carlisa. She Mighty Mouse. You know what I'm saying? She everywhere doing everything for everybody, flipping tables, all types of stuff that she doing. And until she has a flare up or something, you just plumb forget. And so I think for moments where I've seen it and I'm like, oh, this is still a thing. Because you can't see the pain that y'all probably going through every day while y'all still doing all the stuff that y'all doing, while you writing books and doing seminars and all the different things, cooking for 50,000 kids at school. While y'all doing all the things that y'all doing, I can't see the pain. I just see amazing women. You know what I'm saying? But I think for mom, it was the trip to Hawaii that really like punched me in my face on the plane. And I'm like, dang. And I can't do anything. I feel helpless. And for Carlisa, it was after we got back from the wedding cruise and you had the, what do you call it thing? Vertigo or something like that. And it wasn't stopping. It was like a week after the wedding. And you in pain and you uncomfortable, and I was at the hospital with you, and I'm looking at these doctors like I'm about 2 seconds from punching you in the face. Like she telling you something wrong, and y'all can't do nothing about it. Y'all just real nonchalant about doing nothing about her being uncomfortable. Of course, I wasn't saying that out loud, but in my head, I was ready to punch all of them in the face. Okay, and I'm like, you go through this all the time. And like I said, I just see amazing women. I can't feel what you feel, but it makes me want to go harder that other people understand. So that's how I feel.
Okay. I'm very good, honey.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama.
But
Mama's always talking about very good.
Thank you, Mama.
I wanted to say this because I thought.
Oh, hold on. I ain't speak to Cherlnell real quick. Okay. Now Cherlnell, yours is a little different because you have a little more ailments, even though you on the one that's not diagnosed with lupus.
Right.
For me, from lupus, I couldn't understand that. They said
right, you're diagnosed with so many things, from the fibromyalgia to the blood disorder,
but you ain't got it.
All the other things around it. And so you're physically where I can see you being impacted a lot more than Mom and Carlisa. So again, for them, I kind of forget, like, yeah, you know, and then something happened. I'm like, ooh, that's the thing, you know. So it reminds me with them. And for you, because you have all of these different components of lupus and it flares up more often, I see you sick a lot more. And so for me, and then with the like fibromyalgia, which I do believe is a lot of what Carlisa said, they just like, oh, we can't find that, so we're gonna slap this title on it and call it one because I don't want to do my job type of thing, or it's too hard right now, so we just gonna leave it at this, and maybe a couple years from now somebody will figure it out. Yeah. That's basically what I believe it is. For me seeing you constantly, you know, in the hospital and me going with you and you know all of these different things, I think for all of you all, and y'all they laugh at me all the time, world. Everybody who watching this, they laugh at me all the time, including my brother, the only that battle boy, okay, except for all these nephews I got. All right. And my son. I'm really health conscious. And I'm not like the super healthiest person in the world, of course. But like I'm alkaline vegan mostly now, you know, and I'm herbs and like, you know, all of these different things I'm cutting out, you know, yoga, meditation, even spiritually, you know, all of these different things. I'm health conscious on a lot of different levels. And so a lot of the research and stuff I do for y'all. Now y'all are free agents, so I can't make y'all do nothing, but I'm dropping bugs in them ears, living in them videos like, oh, but like because I'm like, we can heal ourselves naturally. It definitely isn't gonna be easy. And it's definitely gonna be some things we gotta do. But I'm like, these doctors ain't got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? This Western medicine I mean, some things it all right, works okay, but they don't have it all. And so I'm doing a lot of that, and I live through that for me just because I want to be as healthy as possible. But I also do it because I hope, you know, some of it passes on to you all, and I do see it on a day-to-day where, you know, it might be small changes that you make or certain things that you implement in your diet, and I'm like, yeah, all right, all right, you know, because I know the doctors don't have it, and I know we can heal ourselves through the things we eat, because a lot of times the things we eat is what ails us. And I'm done. Mama, very good. Mama, go here.
Very good, Natalie. Very good. Good job. So, one of the things that I thought about as we were talking was in the beginning of this lupus, it was diagnosed, or it was said that mainly Black women carry lupus.
Yeah. And
I,
then white women started getting it.
I don't think we mentioned that in the beginning. Black women was the only ones that they could find at the time that carried lupus. And then I think it went to Black women and Hispanics. You had very little white women that had lupus. But now we got a lot of white women that has lupus. And also, it's not just basically women. Men also can have lupus. Men can also have lupus. It's a small number of men that have lupus also. But you can tell by the research and the knowledge that is going out nowadays than before, because before it was just Black women that carried the lupus. Now it's almost every woman that they find that can carry the lupus. It wasn't too much thought about it when it was just us, but now white women is they also carrying the lupus gene. So they have more research going on, and they have more things happening. And so I'm just grateful that we're able to get this word out on Lupus Month. Usually every year before this Corona came out, Carlisa did a lupus awareness at the Southside Community Arts Center every year. And as she said, we are a family, regardless if we had lupus or not. We are a family that works together with each other no matter what their endeavors may be. So, as in that, I say that I thank them for being able to go out and do the work, because they are percentage of the people who have gotten the information out, even when everybody else wasn't getting this information out. And then by that, we found so many more people who had lupus around the city of Chicago that was coming in saying, "Yeah, I have lupus," and she also did a good job about people coming in just to help the people who have lupus. You know, giving them a spa day, nails done, and t-shirts, and all of these different things going on. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate each and every one of the family, because even she said, I got a son, even sometimes he had to come in on security duty, you know, when we have events and stuff like that. So I just thank them for working hard and being one of the first ones that we know of, because I'm sure that it is many more people who was out also trying to get the word out on lupus awareness also. So I thank you, Cherlnell, for having this show to get the word out, working hard on that and everything that goes to it. I thank you, Carlisa, for your work, and I thank you, Natalie, for the work that you do, helping getting the word out in every aspect that you do it. And I'm finished.
Very good, Mama. Very
All right,
good.
good,
Very
Mama.
good.
Very good.
You
Very
gonna
good.
close up Cherlnell show. This is
Right.
not a
She was
mother's
like,
love.
now that y'all done, let me do my bit finish. She the mama.
This is
CEO
this
of Dem
is not
Battles
a
Girls.
mother's love. She gonna close Cherlnell show. So we want to thank y'all, and y'all come
Y'all,
back
she's
next week.
CEO of Dem Battles Girls. She created this.
That was funny. Okay, tell us where we can find you all. And we
I'm
can't hear you,
sorry.
Mom. Okay, there
They
you go.
said I took over your show, Cherlnell. I was letting your son in. They said I took over your show. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You did not take over. You okay?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Carlisa took over the show. No.
Oh yeah, you know she gonna always
Wasn't
take.
me this time. I was good.
I'm gonna take over everything.
Yeah,
Well,
you know she
yeah.
gonna always take over. So hey.
Yeah. I should have put I was talking about me and Natalie being co-hosts. I should have put word from a Black woman's experience with your host, Carlisa Thomas.
With your host.
The Battles Girls.
And them battle girls.
Right.
That everybody
She
hosts.
Beyonce. Can I at least be Kelly?
We all hosts because we learn to jump in when something is needed. So when we need it, we jump on in there and help them out.
Even when we not needed.
Speaking of, Exclusive Liz says the strength within yourselves as well as the support of others is awesome. Then she says, and I still want one of those.
Yes. These are our Mother's Day gift. If y'all missed a little short live yesterday, these are our Mother's Day gift from Cherlnell Lane. Dem Battles Girls.
Dem Battles Girls.
Hey. And you asked us to say where you can find us. You can find me, Miss Natalie B, Natalie Battles. You can find me on Facebook under Natalie Battles Read. You can find my company, Melanated America, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. You can also find my non-for-profit organization, the Healing Academy, and we'll be 2 years old on the 19th, and we're super excited about it. So we're doing a lot for the 2-year anniversary. We had an amazing panel discussion that A Mother's Love, created by my mother, hosted by the two of us, and the panelist Carlisa Thomas. Yesterday, A Mother to Daughter Heart to Heart went super amazing. We have a program coming up on the 22nd to celebrate our 2-year anniversary. So just stay tuned with the Healing Academy. We are WeHealHeal.org. We Heal on Instagram. We Heal on Facebook, because we don't just heal. We heal because we heal for real. Okay, and you can also find me, Natalie B, Miss Natalie, on Instagram as well under Miss_Battles, and all of the many things that I do. Many.
Okay.
Carlisa.
So I am Carlisa Ann Thomas. You can find me on everything under Carlisa Ann Thomas. I'm talking about everything. But mostly Purple Ribbon Chef. So I am the Purple Ribbon Chef. Purple Ribbon Chef was birthed from my experience of going through lupus at a very young age, and the awareness ribbon for lupus being purple, as you see us in all of this purple, and we're connecting that to Lupus Awareness Month. But also a major part of my story was also domestic violence, and that color for that awareness ribbon happens to be purple as well. So everything kind of came full circle. I named that the name of my catering company, Purple Ribbon Chef. So definitely follow us on all social media platforms and purpleribbonchef.com. We will be putting out, we go ahead and give y'all some information here since you know it's out here in the news and stuff. So Purple
Exclusive.
Ribbon Chef, exclusive, you know, you said that exclusive. So Purple Ribbon Chef is one of 100 recipients from the Comcast grant for a grant that Comcast donated $1 million to minority businesses during this hardship of COVID-19. So we did receive one of those grants. Whoop whoop. I'll be posting that information tonight. Um, and you know, I am absolutely amazed and excited about Purple Ribbon Chef receiving that during the pandemic. My mom talked about like events that we used to do and stuff like that during the pandemic. We lost where we were doing events and where we were working out of. So my goal this year is to find a property and a home for Purple Ribbon Chef. So anybody got some connects on that, hit a girl up, because we're looking to purchase a building with a storefront and at least one apartment. And we are excited that this grant is going to kind of push us in that direction from Comcast. So we're super excited about that. So yeah, Carlisa Ann Thomas on everything, from me being a lupus domestic violence survivor, advocate, and speaker, and then Purple Ribbon Chef for the catering company.
Okay. I am Ernestine Battles, and you can find me at Ernestine Battles at Facebook. I also do a show called A Mother's Love. You can find me there at a mother's at a mother's love live, and it take you straight to us. And I'm also at love is rooted into happiness. That's me. Love is always rooted in happiness, and we must send out that love to each and every one in every day. I love you all, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. That's me. I'm not like them. They got 150 million things they do. I only got one or two. Y'all take care.
But whole time she an employee under all of our business.
Oh yeah, I get 10%.
10%.
I ain't got it yet, but whenever.
I'm sorry, she not an employee. She part owner of all of our
Owner.
I'm waiting for my 10%. I ain't got it yet.
Oh, and you guys, since we drop an exclusive, I have another exclusive. I know I do everything, but I added a whole new thing to my things. Okay. I am working with an amazing group of people to help restore and beautify our Chicago and our communities. It is called Talking Trash. It's an amazing campaign where we are working to do 90 cleanups across the city of Chicago. And so go ahead and follow our Facebook, Talking Trash Chicago, our Instagram, Talking Trash Chicago. and get more information. We are looking for volunteers. We have a launch coming up June 12th. And once a month, we'll be doing a massive cleanup with the DJ and gift bags and art projects for different communities around the city of Chicago. And we'll be doing smaller cleanups in between there. So 90 cleanups from here to October all across the city of Chicago. It is going to be amazing. So if you're an artist and you want to get involved in the art projects, murals, and installation pieces, if you just love and want to clean up your community because it's our responsibility, let us know. We need cleanup volunteers. And if you're a gardener, because we'll also be dropping beautification as far as flowers and creating little beautiful spaces after we clean up these environments, please let us know as well. So again, that's Talking Trash Chicago.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, lovely ladies, for letting us know where we can find you and the things you all have coming up. I also have some things coming up. First of all, I would like to let you all know that, much like Natalie, my business, Cherlnell Lane LLC, where we help you use your words, will be celebrating its 2-year anniversary on May 13th. So I'm excited about that.
Oh my God, we're almost twinsies.
We're twinsies. Oh my God.
Can we also just mention how all of this is around my actual birthday? Just saying. May 16th is a beautiful day to send funds to me. Just saying. All right.
Remember that, everybody.
The day my life changed forever.
On Facebook.
I bless your soul.
Yes, but thank you. So we'll be celebrating our 2-year anniversary. You know, I have Words from a Black Woman's Experience every Monday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time here where you're watching it right now on Facebook or YouTube. And we love to see you. As you see, it's very interactive. We love your comments. We love your questions. And we love y'all encouragement. So please meet us back here Monday. I am also hosting Surviving the Mic's open mic on every third Thursday of the month. So that means this one is going to be on the 27th of May. And I will be hosting, as always, your lovely host. And just come by. Surviving the Mic is an organization that was created to help support artists, survivor artists of gender-based trauma. And it was so that can include sexual assault, domestic violence, LGBT violence, all of those things, so, but it's not just for survivors, and it's not a sad time all the time. We talk about anything that a survivor life is. Just like right now, we talked about highs, we talked about lows. Being a survivor is not all woe is me, right? Which we just discovered watching this show. So come out to that. Go to Surviving the Mic on Facebook, Surviving the Mic on YouTube, and survivingthemic.com for that. Check out my website, Cherlnell.com. That's CHERLNELL.com. That is also, if you want to be featured on the show, be a guest, or someone who would love to be a guest. I mean, who you would love to see on the show. Please email me at Cherlnell@Cherlnell.com. And you can find me on all the social media platforms at Cherlnell. That's CHERLNELL. As always, I love having you all here. Thank you for our watchers for staying with us for almost a 2-hour show. But you know how we get when them Battles girls get together. So
before we leave,
Yes.
Can I ask? I didn't ask any of my questions because y'all had it. Y'all
Okay.
ain't need no questions. Y'all was just going crazy. Okay. Yes, Lord, it was a good show. But my one of my questions that I kind of wanted to close out the show is just really short. If you guys could leave words of encouragement to yourself, to everyone here on screen, or to everyone out there who's suffering from lupus or fibromyalgia or any kind of ailment, or just struggling through life, what would be those words of encouragement?
Let's not all go first.
Mom, you're on
I'll
mute.
go. I'll,
Go
can
ahead.
y'all hear me? Mic
You can
check,
go
one, two,
first.
one, two.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what mine would be is like we talked about at the beginning, though, that quote, for everything, that there's a purpose for everything under the sun. And Natalie, you said like everything happens for a reason. Um, I feel like we are so excited when the good things happen in our lives, and then we get so discouraged when we have negative or what we may perceive as negative things happen in our life. But I feel like if we can keep a positive mindset, even through the things that we may feel as negative, that we really see that it was a reason why this had to happen that way. Like, that's one of the things I always say too, like it had to happen this way, you know. um we don't know, and I always say this as well, like if I can only touch one person through what it was that I went through and
Mm-hmm.
change one life, we don't know if that thing that we survived through it to save somebody that's going to be the somebody that saved the world one day, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So if we try to find the positive in every situation that we have, I feel like we end up getting that positive life. I really feel strongly in the law of attraction, and us keeping a positive mindset, and us not dwelling on things that may look or seem negative to us, because everyone has a different perspective. And like Cherlnell was talking about with the Kermit the Frog, and it's hard being green. um we may be looking at our lives in a negative, where somebody else that has the least of the least is looking at it and saying, I wish I had that, you know? And I feel like that's the mindset that we need to have. That does not mean don't continue to strive for excellence daily. That does not mean don't push yourself to the best you that you can be for that whatever that day is that you wake up on. And I talked about this yesterday. Every day that we wake up is a chance to try again and to do amazing things, and we need to seize those things. But what I'm saying is be grateful and show gratitude in whatever moment that you may be in, and just continue to strive for more. And if I can leave anything, it would be that.
That was beautiful.
Okay, I guess I'll go next.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, you can go next because I gotta close
Mm-mm.
out the show anyway.
Okay, well, I'm going. Um, my my words will be never give up. It kind of sounds like Khaleesi's, but never give up, even when we feel our lowest, at our lowest. Never give up. You never know what tomorrow is gonna bring you. Even though we fall down, we always can get back up. And that's my thing. Don't never give up. Never give up. Even if we need somebody, it's got to be somebody that's close to you that you can talk to. Or even if you got to go to Carlisa's Lupus page and have somebody to speak to you, or give them a call, even us. Never give up. And when you feel your tiredness, you can always remember, you can always get back up. That's all I gotta say. Just keep getting back up. We fall all the time, but we must get back up to keep the race going. We must get back up. Even if you need a little help to get up, call somebody to give you a little help. Don't stay down. Don't stay down. Although I walk through the valley of the shadows of death, I shall fear no evil. Why? Because God is with you and you walking through it. You're not staying in it. We're going to keep on walking through it till we come out and see the light on the other side of the tunnel. So get up, keep moving, keep walking, and know that it is something and somebody out there that still loves you and you can make it through. That's all. That's
Awesome. Well, that's a hard one to follow. However, I am going to say that if you're going through something like this, I know it's always said, and even by us today, be strong, be strong, be strong, especially as Black women. Let's just keep it plain, right? Black women, we are to be strong at all times, take on anything, be invincible, blah, 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 blah. We are not that all of the time. Not all of the time. So, what I would say to someone who is going through invisible illness, who are going through chronic illness or autoimmune things or anything, what I would say is, like my mother said, keep walking. However, you can take a break. If you want to cry, just let your heart break. It's okay. You are dealing with a lot. You are dealing with a lot. There is nothing wrong with you. If you say, you know what, today, I'm just not feeling it today. As long as you get back up after that and you keep that step, there is nothing wrong. I teach that in my writing classes all the time. Like writing, just feel your emotions to release your emotions, to learn from your emotions. Reveal, deal, and heal. You cannot heal from something if you don't reveal it, if you don't let yourself know what it is. If you're like, I'm not mad, I'm not mad, I'm not mad, all that is festering inside of you. And guess what that causes? Illnesses. So please, anyone out there, if you put on a brave face for the world and that's not what you're feeling, it's okay to not be brave all the time. Like my mom says, you got to have help. You got to have support. And if you don't have that around you, reach out. There are people who can help you, whatever you're going through. And I don't mean forever. I don't mean like you're like, I'm going to be this forever. No, you're not. You're not. But it's okay to stop at least one time and be like, hey, this is how I feel. And that's with any emotion. I don't want you to just think that's with sadness. Because if you want to cry, cry. If you angry, go punch a pillow, go scream in a wall, go break a car window at these places they got. Let it out. If you're happy, laugh. Go watch a comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like, let these emotions free. It doesn't make you any less of a strong woman. Because a strong woman is strong enough to let all of her show. So that's what I want to leave you guys with.
And one thing that I always say when people talk about strong, I can't remember who said it to me first, but a friend of mine a while back, one of them, said soft things don't break. Soft things don't break. We always want to be so hard, but if you so hard, you fragile. One drop, one crack, and that's a wrap. but soft things don't break. Even when, and this is a whole other conversation, but when we raise our men in the world, our boys, we raise them to be so hard, so tough. They become numb. They break easily. And we wonder why so many people out here going crazy over the smallest thing, because we raise them to be hard, not to feel their emotions. But soft things don't break. Feel those emotions because they are part of you. They make you human. And that's the best thing about us. We're all human.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna close with this comment from Exclusive Lid, who has went with us through 2 hours.
Yes, she has. Thank you.
So she says, "You all learned of the turmoil, which through time created more education. With the knowledge, you continue to stray away from the trips, the weight, etc. You are stronger, and now others can grow." So
Oh, beautiful.
thank you,
Beautiful.
Exclusively. Okay, so now at the 2 hour and 23-second mark, am going to say thank you, Dem Battles Girls, for joining me on another panel. I love you all so much. Right? Thank you for
We
coming.
love you.
We
Love
love
you. Thank you for having
you.
us.
We have fun as always. It's a turn up every
Yes.
time we link
Yes,
up.
it's a turn up every time.
Every time.
Okay,
Every time.
so from Dem Battles Girls and Cherlnell Lane, the poetic storyteller, and Cherlnell Lane LLC, where we help you use your words, I would like to say peace. That has been our piece, and we'll see you next week.